Hello, YouTube family, and welcome back to the channel for another video today. I'm super excited to be back. If you haven't noticed, I've been gone for a really long time, but I can explain. So let's just start with that. So the reason I've been gone is because in my area, I don't know if this is the case where you live, but it seems like the furniture flipping industry is very oversaturated. I'm competing with my competitors to pick up pieces, and not only that, the asking prices have gone up tremendously. It used to be I get on Facebook Marketplace, I can find pieces for free ranging to maybe $40, and I had 5 pieces to choose from in my area. It's not the case any longer. I usually see pieces $100 and up, pieces that I have to travel and go pick up, which isn't the most convenient for me with my husband, his schedule, and I need his help to load, and then my daughter needing a babysitter because there's no room for her in our pickup van, things like that. So anyway, I found a piece within good time frame of my last upload, and I was really excited because I was just like, okay, come on, consistency, let's go. I got the piece home, and it turns out that it was infested. Yes, you heard correctly, infested. So we handled the situation. If you want to learn how to handle that, you have to subscribe to my channel because this video will be up and coming soon. The reason I knew how to handle this is because we dealt with this a few years back, and it actually became a problem where we had to hire a technician and things like that. So great. I'm thankful that everything is under wraps. We haven't had any activity, and this has been sitting for maybe 3 weeks. I'm trying to let it sit as long as possible. And again, I'll explain all of my methods and things in that video. So you just have to keep watching, but I'm going to get this out the way and we'll talk about these other flips. Okay, so as far as these flips here, now this is the project that I'm going to be working on today. It's a pair of nightstands. I'm going to keep it simple because I really just want this to be a quick sell. So if you've been around for a long time, you already know what that means. You know what direction I'm heading in with these. I had a few different ideas, but I think I'm just going to keep it simple and make it a quick flip. But these ones were listed for $165. That's ridiculous, in my opinion. I know they're beautiful, but they're definitely a flip project. Even the person I got it from was a flipper herself, so she knew it needed work. But nonetheless, it took me maybe 2 to 3 weeks to even link up with her because her schedule was so busy. And really, I just shot my shot. So I had this one saved in my Facebook Marketplace folder. I check it from time to time to see if there's anything I want to move forward with. And I just asked the seller, I said, hey, I don't mean to offend you with this offer, but I've noticed these nightstands have been posted for quite some time. Are you open to $40? So she countered at 65, and then I countered back at 60. And then even from there, it took like another week for her to have availability for me to pick up. And she did explain that, it had a lot of interest, but her schedule was just crazy. So I'm grateful that I was persistent and I was able to get my hands on these. And then this right here, you guys, this is a Pennsylvania House buffet, and I'm super excited. I know a lot of you have been waiting for me to restore furniture, and this is going to be a restore project. I'm just deciding between a paint wash or a paint stain. It's either going to be a really light wash or a very deep, rich brown, beautiful color. So those are my two options. I'm leaning towards paint wash. And then again, if I don't like the paint wash, I can take it off and do the stain, but I can't go backwards from stain to paint wash. But let me know what you guys think. I think it's gorgeous, even as is, but I think that it will look much better with the paint wash. Even like I said, that paint stain is calling my name. I'm really unsure. I'm like split down the middle. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments. But with all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into this video. Okay, so now that we got the intro out of the way, let's just get right to the project. First of all, I am doing this during nap time, so hopefully I can knock this out. I tried to do this last night, by the way, but I was so tired and you could hear it in my voice. So hopefully this sounds better. But here I am just trying to remove the drawers. I thought that they were stuck, so I took out the back of the nightstands, but it turns out I just wasn't pulling hard enough. So I put the backing right back on and I just proceeded to remove the hardware. So when it comes to this particular hardware, I think they're actually stunning. I typically remove the hardware in most of my flips. This is one I would have kept, but I am missing one knob, so I do have to replace them, unfortunately. And then we're going to go ahead and clean the entire piece. I'm using a TSP substitute, and with this product, there is no rinse required. So you may think that this step is unnecessary, but when I show you this water, it just solidifies it, okay? These were disgusting. Okay, and next I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum all of the nightstands, the drawers, everything. And then when it came to this felt liner, I always replace this. I don't like the way it looks, don't really like the way it smells. And this time I thought I would try that boiling water method. Yeah, bad idea. And here's why. I ruined it. I just really made the rookiest mistake ever, and I poured the boiling water into the drawers without realizing it was more like an MDF board and not wood. So I don't think there's any fixing that without replacing it altogether. Thankfully, I have a lot of MDF scrap pieces to work with. Actually, I have more than scrap pieces. I have pretty large pieces of MDF. So I guess my best bet is to try to remove it, trace the shape out, and replace the base, and then reinstall the tracks. I don't know. I've never done this before, so I guess there's a first time for everything. Let's get into it. Okay, so if I'm honest, this process was absolutely just tedious and horrendous. I never want to experience this again. So let's move on to some more exciting news. You guys may have noticed in the earlier clip that I now have a new board and batten staging wall. So, as I said, I couldn't find any furniture flips the past couple of weeks, and I really wanted to make use of my free time. So, I finally decided to tackle this wall. This has been a goal of mine for so long, and I'm so pleased with the way that it turned out. I definitely considered doing a full tutorial for you all, but I know that unless I'm showing a furniture makeover, I don't really get much interest or engagement. So I figured I would just do this as more of an integration. But I did do a YouTube Shorts, and that will be up on Wednesday. So please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and that way you can make your way back to see that video. I'm super excited about it, and I think this is just really going to elevate the look of my finished projects and allow me to increase my pricing. So I'm really excited again. I have so many more ideas. It's never a lack of ideas, you guys. It's usually always a lack of resources around here, but I'm believing that some exciting things are yet to come, and I just can't wait. All right, so here I'm just quickly showing you all the aftermath. It was just a mess in here. I had to pull out my table saw, which I absolutely hate using that. I think I need to like study how to use a table saw because I know I'm not doing it correctly, and I get a lot of kickback. I was reading about how you have to have a level, like the board needs to be level and etc. So, but here's the aftermath. The drawers aren't perfect, but I am going to cover them with liner so they will look perfect. You won't even notice that there's tape residue there, or you won't feel it through the wallpaper or anything like that. I will definitely show you guys in the end clips, but let's just move on from that. So something that's really important to me in all of my flips is that my hardware is level. And of course, these ones were in the upper third area of the drawer because they were like a dangle or a drop down pull, if you will. So with me adding knobs, I just need to lower that hole a little bit. And this process actually wasn't that bad this time because I was able to use the existing hardware holes to kind of be a guide for me. So, but I always love to make sure that my knobs are centered with the drawers. I think it truly makes a difference. Chasing a light, holding on tight, living the moment. I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna glow, I know it. Okay, so I just took a break. I feel completely refreshed My daughter did wake up, but thankfully my husband was able to take her with him to run a quick errand. So I should have just enough time to do my scuff sanding. I'm going to go in with a 120 grit sandpaper for all of my scuff sanding. And the weather is looking a little bad right now. It's getting ready to rain according to the forecast. We'll see. I did see some sprinkles already coming down, but it looks like it's already subsided. But let me know if you guys are enjoying this style of video. I'm just trying some new things around here. And this is a great opportunity for me to invite you to hit the subscribe button if you're not already. We're on the road to 9K and I can't wait. And there's a train. So with that being said, let's just keep it moving.
I got no fear, runways clear, ready to take off, ready to take off. Someday, I know I'm looking in the right way. Oh, one day, keep praying, I keep praying.
So whenever we get to primer day, it's always a good time because that means we're pretty much at the finish line. I can literally prime and paint in the same day. I don't know if that was the case because I can't remember, but I guess we'll keep watching to find out. But I did 2 coats of primer with my Zen Bin shellac based primer. And this sanding disc here is a game changer. It's a 400 grit sanding disc. I got these from Harbor Freight. And if you ever have like those raised fibers, like as you see here, this will take that right out. Now, I do always do the 400 grit sanding, but I usually do it by hand, and having this just really made all of the difference. So now I'm just going in with some black paint. I got this from Dunn Edwards Deco Glow, about $15. This is semi-gloss, and I think that's all the specs you should know. So I did 2 coats all over, and then the last thing I have to do is add the hardware, and we're going to get into the staging, and then oh, I'm also going to line the drawers, but I did do that off camera. And that pretty much wraps up this video. So I'm just going to quickly say, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button. My baby just started whining, so she just woke up. And we're on the road to 9K. I'm super excited about that. So I want you to stick around. I can't wait. That's my goal for the end of the year. And I think we'll make it. So with that being said, you guys, I think that's it. Don't forget to comment down below. I love interacting with you all. Follow me on Instagram at Beauty from Neglect. And oh, and last thing I want to say, I know someone's going to tell me that these look better before I put my hands on them. To each their own, that's fine. You're welcome to your opinion. But I do paint a lot of furniture on my platform. And if that's not your thing, that's perfectly fine. We're all different, and this is my preference. If you do want to see a restore project from me, I will be having that up and coming here soon. Thank you for staying tuned to the end, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Did my big girl just wake up? Hi, baby. Say hi.
Hi.
Say, how are you?
What are you?
Say, what are you doing?
What doing?
Say bye bye.
Hi.
Say it louder. Say bye bye. See you later. Say bye bye. See you later.
Bye-bye, sleeping.
Breaking the chain, feeling the gain, now I'm rising. Open the gate, never too late.